Hi there. So, this is a quick cooking installment from Shakara Farms. Not really cooking, but a how-to video. It goes lockstep with my doing a cookbook. And in my research and gleaning through family recipes, I came across something I thought was very, very useful, which is how to make yeast. So this is my yeast starter, okay? And I'm gonna show you how simple it is to make your own yeast starter. And after 4 to 6 days, you'll have a good supply of yeast to make your rolls and your breads and things like that. So I'm just gonna jump right in here. It's really, really simple. Pay no attention to that alarm going off. That's just my stove telling me that my souffles aren't done yet. So jumping right in here, you just need 2 or 3 simple ingredients. And so the first thing you're gonna need is a clean glass jar like this. You know, I just save all of my glass jars from pasta sauces or applesauce or whatever. Just make sure it's cleaned. I've sanitized it in my dishwasher. You know, you need your measuring spoons. You're gonna need apple juice or water and any kind of flour. So it can't be leavened. So it has to be all purpose. It can't have self-rising agents in it because that has like baking soda or baking powder or whatever in it, and it's just not gonna work. So what we're gonna do first, we're going to take, for me, I keep it really simple, stupid. I take half of, well, I do it like this. I'm not good at these tutorials. So I'm gonna take 4 tablespoons, 1, 2, 3, and 4 tablespoons of the flour. As you see, they don't have to be leveled. 4 tablespoons of flour, and then 2 tablespoons of apple juice. Now this is going to get a little tricky because, because I'm holding the camera with my hand because I can't seem to find my tripod. So I'm just going to take this everyday bowl that has a crack in it, but doesn't matter. And I'm going to scoop out approximately 2 tablespoons of pineapple juice. 1, 2. I say start off with 2. You may need to go with 3 just based on how dense your mixture is. So I'm going to try to put this so that you can see me stirring it. So then you stir it. I'm going to pause it and I'm going to come back and show you the finished product. If you need more liquid, add more liquid. It's okay. You just want a balanced look. You want it to look kind of like a pudding, but I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I'm back. This is, after stirring, I ended up adding another tablespoon and a half of pineapple juice. Now this is what we call our starter. Like I said, it's the consistency of a pudding almost. Kind of slick, but kind of puddingy. I don't know if that's a word, puddingy. But what you do is you make sure it's completely blended. You don't want any lumps and any dry spots of flour in there. You want it to be pretty smooth. And once you got that done, that's it. It's really simple. Then you put the cap on your jar, but you don't seal it. You just put the cap on it. And so I just sit it on top of my canisters over here, and I just sit it out the way so it won't get bumped and knocked around. And every day you feed your starter. And by feeding starter, I mean you come in every day. I've got my little check mark. Today is May 8th, and so I did both of my yeast starters today. And I just put a little check mark. Feeding it just means you go in and you add equal amounts of liquid and flour to achieve the consistency of thick porridge or a thick pudding. From this point forward, you don't need to use pineapple juice. Pineapple juice just kind of gives the yeast a bit more to feed on in the beginning stages, in the starter stages. It gives it a little more sugar for the yeast to start developing with. From this point forward, you just use water. So you don't need, for the next 4 or 5 days, you do not need to add any more pineapple juice. You want to just use water. So you'll go in and you'll add 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of water, or 1 tablespoon of water. Just gauge it with your eyeballs and stir it. You have to stir it every day. I'm going to come back with a follow-up video on Sunday or Monday once these guys have developed and let you see how they've turned out. But after 4 or 5 days, you'll start to see aerations and air bubbles in your mixture. You feed your mixture for 4 days. That's it. Feed it for 4 days, stir it for 4 days, and then you let it sit. By the 5th or 6th day, you'll have more mixture in your jar, and you'll start to see air bubbles. It'll start to look really familiar as a yeast brew. You can smell the yeasty earthiness of it. You'll be able to immediately tell that your yeast is proofing properly. After the 5th day, you see the air bubbles, then you can feel free to tighten your lids and seal them and put them in the fridge for 3 or 4 days. They're good for, some people say a week. I wouldn't go past 3 or 4 days. And you can use the needed amount of yeast, 2 tablespoons for a pack of dry yeast, and make your breads, your rolls, your baked products that require yeast. Well, that was just my little quick how to keep it simple, stupid from Shakara Farms, and I'll be back on Monday to show you the rest. All right. Love you. Love me. Bye.